We are pleased that you chose to be a part of this historic event hosted by the Harold and Pauline Price Center for Entrepreneurial Studies at the UCLA Anderson School of Management. The center has been gracious and more than generous in their support of the hall and has shown us every courtesy as we plan this evening's events. Once again, we are here for a very special evening to celebrate the accomplishments of 5 outstanding individuals and an institution that made great strides on behalf of strengthening economic development in minority communities. The impact of these inductees is far-reaching and undoubtedly has made a difference in the lives of most of us here. You are here because you have been witness to and active participants in this effort. So we do not need to convince you of the worthiness of this honor. We trust you enjoyed the reception and the opportunity to meet old friends and hopefully make new ones. And I know you did because I was among you. We want you to continue to enjoy yourselves with dinner and the awards program we have prepared. It is our hope that this will be a night to remember for everyone. But before we go there, I would like to ask John Robinson and Don McNeely, 2 of the founders of the Minority Business Hall of Fame and Museum, to come forward and tell you a little bit more about the Hall of Fame, how it came to be, and what it hopes to accomplish.
Takes 2 people to get me up here and probably nobody to push me down. If I don't do good, obviously there won't be anybody waiting at the bottom of the steps. First off, in all due respect to Dean Osborne and the Alumni Athletic Hall of Fame at Anderson School of Management, I'd like to personally welcome you to the house that Jackie Robinson built. Number 42, he's in the hall there. Some of you who don't maybe remember, he used to play for UCLA baseball and went on to the Brooklyn Dodgers and so on and so forth. But first of all, I'd like to thank Dean Osborne for initially agreeing to host this event tonight. We started talking about 2 years ago when he was inducted into the Minority Business Hall of Fame. And it's really, as they used to say on the A-team, it's great to see a plan come together. So this plan has definitely come together. There's a few people I'd like to thank. One is a gentleman who could not be with us, but everybody in this room knows him as just as well as anybody else in this town. And that's Mr. Hollis Smith. And he could not be with us this evening because of family and his wife's situation. But I'd like to have you all give Hollis Smith a round of applause. We would not be out here on the West Coast if it wasn't for Hollis's field work of making it come together, working with the dean and all the people associated, the sponsors and the inductees. Also, I'd like to thank Valerie Myers, who is our day-to-day person here on working under the direction of Dean Osborne. When he was in Africa, Valerie was on the phone with us. So Valerie, thank you very much for your hard work. And on the outside, I'd like to thank the board for agreeing to make this bold move. Fred, our chairman, and all the rest of our board people who will be acknowledged later on. Jim Lowry's here, Chris Knox, Carol Foster, Don McNeely. Am I missing anyone, Fred?
Nope, that's it.
And the ones who could not make it, but who were on those Tuesday at noon conference calls will help pull all of this together. But this event, as has been said, is a historical event. When we first put together the Minority Business Hall of Fame, we really wanted to make sure that all the pioneers and the trailblazers of minority business development were recognized and not forgotten as some of the progress that we take for granted in the Minority Business Development Program today. People like Ginger Conrad, who's inductee tonight, was there in the early days, who documented a lot of things in her magazine, the good, the bad, and the ugly, that took place in the minority business development, the challenges and laws that were passed, like 95-507 and others. All of those things were very important to be the groundwork and foundation for the Minority Business Hall of Fame and Museum. Don McNeely, who agreed to partner with the National Minority Business Council on this endeavor, and who was always doing it all along in an informal structure, and he'll tell you about that. But we both agreed, and Carol Foster, who was really helped put it all together for us, and one of the founders as well. And Fred Kennedy, when he's former vice president of PepsiCo, was the corporate founding sponsor under his direction, and he was able to work with us very closely. And Chris Knox has done that as one of our board members as well. So Chris, thank you. So tonight, welcome again. Congratulations to all of the inductees. As we said in our press release, these inductees represent the best and the brightest, and they have all answered the call of Jack Kennedy back in *61, is that ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for the minority business development community. So and all of you have answered that call affirmatively. Thank you.
Well, John always does such a great job. I have to check my notes and see what he didn't cover. So make sure that we're on the same page. The history, as John described just a bit, John approached us several years ago to partner with him in this endeavor, and we were able to fulfill a goal that actually I had looked at many years ago. I'd been thinking about it for a long time. As a matter of fact, Jim Lowry and I discussed it in my office one day several years ago, 10 years ago, and we never actually had a chance to bring it all together. And then John happened to call, and Carol said, well, John Robinson's talking about trying to do a Hall of Fame, and I told him you and Jim had been talking about it, and we said, well, let's do it. And so as a result, I guess, what is it, 6-7 years now, John? Yes. That we brought this together, and so it's been a wonderful experience. We've had a chance to recognize some outstanding individuals historically over the years. Names like Harriet Michelle, I think most of you all know Harriet, and Earl Gray's Black Enterprise, Chavarria, Jesus Chavarria, Hispanic Business, Dr. L. Osborne. So we recognize some stellar individuals, and so this is really a great coming together, and we certainly appreciate all of you all being here. This promises to be a great event. It's an event that we started out in New York, and it was held for several years at the Harvard Club when we introduced it, the Harvard Club, because our chairman is an alumnus of Harvard, so that would be a fitting thing to do. And then we moved it down to Dallas, Texas, a little place down south that you all maybe have heard of, and at Frito-Lay headquarters, which is a PepsiCo company. And PepsiCo, speaking of PepsiCo, is a founding sponsor of the Minority Business Hall of Fame. They've been with us. They've been with us since day one, and they've just been a stalwart for working with us and growing this event. So, and Fred, we appreciate your early support, and Chris, we appreciate your support today and times going forward. With that in mind, in terms of our sponsors, I'd like to also thank our supporting sponsors that have joined us, and that would be Northrop Grumman. Is anyone here from Northrop Grumman? Let us recognize you, please. Then we have Sempra Energy. Sempra, please, thank you. And we have Toyota. Toyota, please wave your hands. All right. And then also Union Bank, the folks with all the dust. And again, we are especially proud and appreciative of Dr. L. Osborne and the UCLA.